Nerve-wracking. White rhino is the larger of the two African species. It has a bigger head due to the muscles that support its neck, as the animal feeds from the ground with its head lowered for much of the day. White rhino's eyesight is not great, but with their sense of smell and hearing, there's nothing wrong. At this distance, they knew exactly where we were. They look up only when alarmed. White rhinos are sedentary, semi-social and territorial. They are not as aggressive as black rhino, but at around 2,000 kilograms, still intimidating, as they are surprisingly agile and can run very fast, up to 40 kilometers an hour for short periods.
Very beautiful, eh?
Sidney Mikosi, the head guide at Marikele, knows the area and behavioral traits of many of the animals.
The rhinos stays in families, so this is the family of 5. The biggest male is not here.
The southern white rhino was rescued from the brink of extinction due to conservation efforts years ago. Hopefully we can avoid the threat of extinction this time around and protect these beautiful, majestic animals. Linky Bierman for Morning Live, Marikele National Park.
Wow, isn't that an unbelievable experience to get so up close and personal with the white rhinos, and rhinos that really are under threat in South Africa at the moment through poaching, and the numbers are deteriorating. So to be able to experience something like that is amazing, but obviously a lot more needs to be done to ensure that that isn't such a special occasion. It's something that we can experience all the time, because our rhinos are ours and we never want to see them going. Well, the man that actually led this wonderful experience for Linky is with me now. Sidney Mikosi, who is a head guide here at Marikele National Park. So nice to have you here. And that must have been quite, it's quite a daunting experience to get so close to them. I don't imagine you can do that or anybody can do that.
It's quite a very difficult experience. In order to do this kind of activity and approach animals such close, you've got to have a good knowledge, understanding of animal behavior in terms of the different species, as the different species behave differently. And also the same species, families within the same species of animals behave differently. Yeah. So if you do quite a lot of research and understand the animal behavior, you are going to have successful, safe activities. So the safety of the tourist doesn't begin with this rifle that I've got here. It starts with the knowledge, understanding of the animal behaviors, because if you are walking, doing guided walks in the area, most of the times you are going to learn to understand that these animals are now on this season, and after this we are going to expect the babies, and when they are babies, now that will lead you to determine a safe distance when approaching those kind of animals.
Okay. Now we talk about our rhinos, and we don't like to give too many details about them because they're so under threat, and what happens here in the park is you want to try and keep the numbers up, but the reality is here in Marikele is poaching something that is a huge concern of yours.
The poaching around Marikele National Park is not a threat. We've got a very good, successful team of people who are very dedicated, who are looking after these animals every time.
Good. Good. I'm happy to hear that. I really am, because we need to keep it up like that. Now, I believe that you are a man who has won many, many awards for being just such a fantastic ranger. Tell me about them.
At this stage, I have got 11 awards.
Wow.
And I have managed to line up these 11 awards due to a professional service that I'm giving to the clients.
Yeah?
Yeah, because people, when they come to the parks, they must have to enjoy the value for the money. So the experience that I'm providing to the people is unforgettable. Not unforgettable because it's bad. Yeah. I'm referring to a very good, memorable experience.
Yes.
Yes.
I can imagine. I mean, you must get tourists from all over the world that are visiting here. Do you find that, or do you find that it's predominantly South Africans that come here?
We've got tourists coming from worldwide. A lot of tourists are coming from Germany. Also, the domestic tourists, such as South Africans, are coming. And the domestic tourists, they help us a lot in order to learn more, because when they are visiting the national parks, they are here. A lot of them, they ask questions when we are out on game drives. Yeah. So the international clients, when they come to the parks, what they want is to see the big five. But nature is not about just the big five. There is quite a lot of tiny little stuff that are more interesting than than the big animals.
Yeah. You know, I went recently to the bush, and I was with my kids, and I was asking the game ranger all of the questions. And one of the questions I asked, and I think this was one of the questions that my children wanted to know, and at the same time I was educated, why the Big Five? Like, what is it about the Big Five? Why have they been named the Big Five in South Africa? And, you know, what's so special about them?
Yeah, the Big Five, the name derived from the fact that during the olden days, those were the 5 animals which were giving the hunters problems during their hunting activities.
Yeah.
That is why the Big Five. But, I mean, the Big Five are not that very dangerous. There are some of the tiny little stuff which are killing quite a lot of people every year, which is like a mosquito through the malaria. It's not part of the Big Five, but it can be very dangerous.
So in other words, the Big Five are traditionally the hardest animals to hunt by a human, because they will always retaliate. That's really why, and that's why they were given that name.
Yes. Those animals is the animals that started to associate the human beings with the killings.
Yes.
Yeah, and when they're out on activities, they were charging them too much. So when they were seeing the human beings, they were tending to become very aggressive, very temperamental every time when they were doing hunting activities.
Just quickly, Sidney, I'm going to pass over to Yetzi now. Do you see where that light is beaming over there? That's where he is. He's broadcasting there. He's doing our weather. Is this your home, Limpopo? Is this your province or not?
I come from a place called Venda in a small village called Gondinlama Biru. That is where I grew up, and I'm one of those people who has long dreaming of becoming the tourist guides or the nature guides.
Okay.
That is why I'm so successful as well in terms of the achievements.
Fantastic. Sidney, thank you so much, and I feel very safe with this big gun around us and all these bullets, so I'm okay. You can stand there the whole time. Don't leave, don't move. I wish you were with me last night. Tieti, did you have the same night as me, just listening to the flaps of your tent going and thinking, something just jumped on my roof? Maybe it's a leopard. I don't know. Or was it just me?